We are now heading higher, not too high, but high enough to the Mile High City, where we are talking the 2025 Denver Broncos. A lot of people's surprise team from last season. Not so much if you ask Derek Bennett in the year of 2024. He told you they were going to smash their win total, and they did. Coming in at 10-7 last year. We are talking none other than the Denver Broncos. We're going to talk free agency. We're going to talk, hey, what they lose, what they bring in, takeaways, what concerns do we have for this roster, talk a little injury, football takeaways, and of course, talk best bets for this Denver Broncos team. And we're going to start with that free agency additions. We'll talk about their losses. This is a nice one for me as the person who reads these losses and additions. There's not a ton, so that's awesome. Keeping the continuity, big thing in college football right now, but the NFL, it helps too. Zach Wilson, the MILF Hunter himself, has now moved on to Miami. This is probably more of a personal move than professional move for him. Could probably do himself well in that MILF down there in Miami. Now Javonte Williams moves on to Cowgirls of Dallas, Cody Barton to Tennessee, and the punter Riley Dixon. Yes, I included a punter because they only had 4 people leave the team. So, congratulations, Riley Dixon. You made the graphic. Now for the additions, they brought in former Texas Longhorn Sam Ehlinger, running backs J.K. Dobbins, R.J. Harvey out of UCF, wide receiver Pat Bryant out of the University of Illinois, Trent Sherfield, Evan Engram, the big free agency addition coming from the Jaguars, and then on defense, Trey Greenlaw, Tailoa Hofanga from San Francisco, and Jade Barron from the Texas Longhorns. All right, I know how I feel about this.
Well, 2 things. One, that was a lot of high talk for this family-friendly show that we're trying to do here. You mentioned going up high, getting higher.
As a proud member of the United States Armed Forces, I have never seen nor witnessed nor know what a drug is. So I will let you take this away, my friend.
And 2, why we talked about losing a punter. We didn't add the absolute stud Jeremy Crawshaw, the 6th-round pick that the Denver Broncos drafted this year, coming in to be their new punter.
Is that an Ohio State guy or what?
No.
Okay.
He's actually a Florida guy.
I was going to say Crenshaw. Those are the brothers. We had both
He's actually a
guys.
Florida guy. Yeah.
I don't give a shit about punters. Sorry.
Come on now. At IDP Plus, we talk about football as a whole and not just offense. We talk about defense and special teams.
21 players on the field when they
exactly. Anyway,
tell me how you feel about this roster.
From this offseason, obviously they didn't make a ton of moves. Their level of consistency of bringing guys back pretty damn solid, really. And to me, they made some upgrades at 2 key positions, and one of which was the running back room, bringing in a guy like J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey out of the draft.
Right.
We know that Sean Payton kind of just likes to spell his running backs from time to time, but you get a guy like R.J. Harvey who's pretty close to some other guy that they had in New Orleans. In my opinion, that does pretty well. So I think it kind of does go back to the days when you had Engram as well as
Alvin
Kamara. Thank you. So I think from a running back standpoint, they should be a little bit better. They have an amazing offensive line, probably a top 10 unit in the league. But then you also bring in a couple studs on defense over from the 49ers in Greenlaw and Hufanga. And then one of my favorite additions from the entire NFL was Evan Engram.
Yeah.
Who's a catching machine. I mean, from a tight end.
Once he left the Giants, he was.
Yeah. Well, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I mean, but Engram kind of, I guess, quietly became a pretty solid tight end down in Jacksonville. I mean, he's definitely a good addition. Although they didn't bring in what I would consider a wide receiver 2 behind Sutton. That's probably the one area that they didn't add that I would have liked them to.
Yeah, no, I agree. Running back upgraded, tight end upgraded, linebacker with Greenlaw and the safety position upgraded. Like you added 3 key pieces in Greenlaw, Hufanga, and Barron to an already really good defense.
Right.
I mean, arguably the best NFL defense last year.
Yep.
So I love this roster.
Yeah.
And you have Sean Payton, who has shown he's a reliable and really solid head
And you have
coach,
Bo Nix, who's an up and coming potential
right?
star who
You
has
give
some
him
moxie
yeah,
and
he
doesn't
can use his
doesn't
leg.
mind doesn't
You
mind
give
using
him
his legs. Great guy. I mean,
more reliable running game, a better pass catcher over the middle with Engram. We'll see what Pat Bryant can do. And you still got Vele and Mims there. Yeah, I mean, like you said, wide receiver 2 would be like the perfect situation if we could get another guy outside of Sutton. But beggars can't be choosers. I think this is a really solid roster coming into the year. Let's talk injuries. Dre Greenlaw, there was an so the more that we've got away from this, the more I've read it, and like there was a report that Greenlaw hurt his quad training, which he did, but it was that it was season threatening and that basically he tore his quad off the bone, blah, blah, blah. That report was reported unverified out of San Francisco. It was the only site that reported that. It was like NBC San Francisco or some shit. He has a quad strain. Which worst case would be 6 to 8 weeks, and he's got 4.5 months from when it happened in April. So he's going to be fine. But I think that's hilarious that San Francisco is trying to shit on him a little bit on his way out the door. But it seems like they dodged a bullet with Greenlaw. Now, I do want to talk to you about Alex Singleton. Now, we're going to talk about this in 2 phases. One of them, we just need to all understand and pay attention to what an absolute animal this man is in Alex Singleton.
Oh, yeah.
Alex Singleton on September 22nd against Tampa Bay Buccaneers, on his 8th snap of the game, he tore his ACL. He then proceeded to play every single snap after that, finish the game where they beat the shit out of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then was like, hey, coach, my knees, bother me, kind of whatever. Finds out he has an ACL tear. Out for the season, whatever. What an absolute monster. I mean, we talk about guys playing after an ACL tear, like, Hines Ward without the surgery and whatever. But I don't know if I've ever heard of a guy injuring himself early in the game and just finishing the game and still leading the game in tackles. Right. I mean, he was like an effective guy. Like, that's incredible. Yeah. Now, what we'll talk about more is the injury itself, ACL tear, expected recovery timeline 10 to 12 months. He's got 11.5 months. So now you tell us, what can we expect out of Alex Singleton for this 2025 season?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a good thing that they brought in Greenlaw at backer position because, I mean, Singleton, timeline-wise, it's going to be tricky those first few weeks, in my opinion, because obviously after that game back in September, he missed the entire rest of the season, and just again, timeline wise, you're coming up to where we would be okay with guys returning. We'd love another month or 2.
Yeah. No, and you mentioned it. They do have Shrinaud and Drew Sanders. Sanders, the decent, really nice kind of linebacker out of Arkansas, who dealt with some injuries. Shrinaud stepped up for them last year when Singleton went down, so they do have some options. I think he is going to be able to start week 1, but like Derek said, I think it's going to be a little bit slow going there. Greenlaw will have to pick up some of that slack. So let's head to the fantasy space and let's talk one guy. Let's talk Evan Engram.
Yeah.
I mean, so when we did our rankings, let's see where he came in at for us. He came in at number 8 for us for next season, tight end 8, which is a bit higher than what he's going now. Mm-hmm. Why are we so excited for Evan Engram?
Because he was an absolute PPR nightmare from a tight end when he was in Jacksonville, and he got an upgrade when it comes to the quarterback position and head coaching position. Evan Engram is a guy that like you said, when he was with the Giants, like he was okay, but he
Yeah.
wasn't necessarily a star. Once he got down to Jacksonville, he really started to blossom. And I don't necessarily think the move on to Denver is a bad thing at all for him. It was kind of one of those surprise moves for me, honestly. But I think he just fits very, very nicely into that Sean Payton offense and can really fill that kind of old school Jimmy Graham type position from back in the day when Sean Payton was down in New Orleans.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, he's coming in. He's kind of drafted around tight end 10 right now, depending on
Yep.
where you're at and whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're a little bit higher than market because I think he has the potential to be the number 2 target on the team.
Yeah. And honestly, he has the potential to break into the top 5 tight
Yep.
end
Oh yeah.
wise. I mean, it just really depends on how they end up using him and how Vele and Mims come on as wide receivers. But
Right.
now,
I mean,
he's clear number 2 option.
I think Sean Payton and Bo Nix want to use the tight end. They wanted to use the tight end last year. They just didn't have anyone step up between Troutman, Dulcich, and Kroll. And, it was just kind of like a revolving door of guys that just aren't athletic enough to do what they wanted to do.
Right.
So, I think Evan Engram walks into a great situation on an already very functional offense. And I think he can make this offense that much better.
Yeah.
Evan Engram, both a guy we are high on this season. Now let's talk bets and let's talk this team here. 10-7 last year, making the playoffs, then getting bounced by the Bills in the wild card. They come in with a win total of 9.5. You can get a little bit of plus money on the over on FanDuel, -105 over on DraftKings. Playoffs are around -110 to -140. Miss the playoffs, you can get anywhere from -106 to +115. To win the AFC West, +330. AFC, anywhere from 14 to 18 to 1. Super Bowl, anywhere from 28 to 30 to 1.
True.
Where are you at with this Broncos team? Do you have a play on their win total future at all?
Yeah, I do. I'm taking the over 9.5 at -105 over DraftKings is what I got it at. But I think they have a fairly similar season as they did last year, if not end up winning an extra game or two, just because of the additions that they've made. You have a competent head coach in Sean Payton, competent quarterback that he absolutely loves in Bo Nix, and like we've been talking about, they made some key upgrades at some key positions this offseason. So I think they will at least get double-digit wins, if not roll it up to 11 or 12.
Yeah. I'm going to take you one step further there. I'm also on the 9.5. Again, you can get +110 over at FanDuel, or if you want to do what Derek did and waste your money a little bit, then you can do that too. I like this team on the over for 9.5. Going to be them +110.
Okay.
I'm also going to take them to win the division, AFC West, at +330 at FanDuel.
Okay.
And I'm also going to take them to win the AFC.
Okay.
At 18 to 1.
Okay.
I obviously am very high on this Denver Broncos team, and let me tell you why. One, already a playoff team from last year. They upgraded running back, tight end, and the defense. I think they have some of the best line play in the league between the offensive and defensive line. I think that they have a coach who has a set plan and knows what he wants to do and has the quarterback that he wants.
Yep.
And I think top to bottom is one of the most complete teams in the NFL. Obviously, they're in a tough division. They're going to have to go through the gauntlet a little bit, but I really, really like what the Broncos did on defense. I think it's the best defense on paper. I think they're going to really be able to, the secondary, Pat Surtain, Brandon Jones, Riley Moss, and Jahdae Barron. I think that's the best secondary. This defensive line gets pressure. The more I think about this Denver Broncos team, the more I like them.
Yeah.
And as you can tell, I'm again taking them on a win total to win the division and to win the AFC at 18 to 1.
Yeah, no, I think I'll probably have to jump on board, at least with the division. I don't know about the conference quite yet, because I believe the Ravens, the Ratbirds, whatever you want to call them, the Bills, as well as the in-division Kansas City Chiefs will have a little bit something to say about that. But they're probably right on the edge of those other three teams that have kind of been there and done that over the last few years.
Yeah. What do you have for any player props for this team?
Yeah, I got one for you. Cam Sutton, or not Cam Sutton. Courtland Sutton.
There he is.
To go over 1,000 yards at plus 145. He did this a year ago, and I think he's still the wide receiver one. You bring in Evan Engram, that's going to cut into his target share a little bit, but I do think that Bo Nix will take a little bit of a progression, another step forward in this offense. And I forgot to write this down, but I also took Bo Nix to go over 30 passing touchdowns as well. So
I'll let you look for a number.
Yeah, let me look for a number real quick. But I think offensive line wise, absolutely solid. Wide receiver standpoint, you still have Sutton. I think the passing game will open up a little bit more just because you have a more competent running game, as well as Evan Engram room now as well. So I do think that Bo Nix continues to get better, continues to thrive in this Sean Payton offense. And my phone is going extremely slowly right now. I'm trying to get Bo Nix 30-plus touchdowns.
I saw you deleted a row. You might be able to just undo in the sheets there, but Derek, in there deleting stuff.
Oh, there it is. Plus 425.
There we go. All
I
right.
didn't even realize I did that.
Yeah, no worries. But so Derek likes Sutton and Bo Nix. Look, I'm not gonna anything nice you say about the Broncos, I'm not gonna fight you on right now. I also got a couple of player props here. I like Evan Engram over 575.5 receiving yards at minus 110. We talked about what his potential is in this offense. Last year, things got a little bit derailed by injury. But for the past 2 years, he cleared that number by at least yards. So I really like Evan Engram. This offense going to take his over. Also going to give you a little bit of defense. We don't do it all the time, but if we do it, that means we like the play. Give me Nick Benito, 12-plus sacks at plus 230.
Yep.
Over on DraftKings. This is the leading sack on their team. He had 13.5 last season. I mean, one, he's a great pass rusher in his own right at Oklahoma, coming into his 4th year now.
Yep.
2, again, I think his secondary is the best secondary in the league. So there's going to be a lot of holding on to the ball. This team, I like them, meaning they're going to play from ahead with a lead a lot. Their teams are going to have to throw against them. Like, I think things set up very nicely for him to have another, 12-plus sack year, and I remember at plus 230 there. We could not be higher on this Denver Broncos team.
There it is again.
Both of us on the over 9.5 at plus 110. I especially think that highly of this Broncos team. I will be taking them to win the division at plus 330. To win the AFC at 18-1. Derek thinks Courtland Sutton and Bo Nix go off this year. I think Evan Engram gets into the mix early and often. And Nick Benito coming off the edge with a excellent secondary, getting some sacks there, 12-plus sacks at plus 230. That is how we see the 2025 season for the Denver Broncos playing out. All right, we're getting to our last team here in the AFC West. But before we do that, I got to tell you guys about the Fantasy Football Expo. It's coming up. It is a couple weeks away, August 8th through the 3rd in beautiful Canton, Ohio. Get your tickets today at thefantasyfootballexpo.com. Check out our new fan packages and join us and other well-known content creators at the NFL Hall of Fame Village. Also, if we're talking fantasy, we're Fast Draft Fantasy. Look, folks, 20 seconds on the clock. That's all you need. You know what guys you want to target. Nobody wants to sit in the draft lobby for, 20 minutes trying to do a draft. All these drafts are under 10 minutes, most of them under 6. And we'll make this sweeter. $50 for free using promo code DGEN plus DGENDoc. Download the app, use promo code plus DGenDoc, deposit $50, and boom.
For watching the IDP Plus YouTube network. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Be sure to tap the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new content.